Well, unfortunately, the Grinch stole Christmas yesterday. It had been an incredible month of December on Sundays here in the NFL for the majority of the handicappers, the overwhelming majority of the handicappers here at the site. But that was not the case on Christmas Eve yesterday. And it all started poorly when the hottest handicapper here at the site in the NFL, no ifs, ands, or buts, Chris Jordan, who had been 12 and 0 in his 35-year career as a professional capper, with his 3,000 star triple your wager NFL releases, including a perfect 5 for 5 the previous 5 Sundays. Had his top rated 3,000 star play yesterday on the early card with the Detroit Lions, and the Cincinnati Bengals actually decided to play a good game and pulled off the upset as the 3 point underdog. And then, as you've heard me say before, when a team has too much weight, as we like to say, when too many guys jump on the backs of one team, and that was the case yesterday with the Carolina Panthers. And listen, guys, I was guilty as much as anybody else. I was going for winning day number 5 out of 6, going for a fourth straight top rated 15 dime best bet in as many days, coming off the heels of Saturday's winner with the Minnesota Vikings. I was on Carolina yesterday. I thought the Panthers were a great play. You had a Tampa Bay team playing on the road, coming off a Monday night game in which they were decimated injury wise. You had a Panthers team with so much to play for, a Carolina team that was on a roll. Everybody and their brother was on Carolina yesterday. And the Panthers were damn lucky to win the game as a 10-point favorite, let alone even thinking about covering the contest. And again, as I said, when a lot of guys and a lot of gamblers and the betting public is on one team more so than anybody else, that's when a team is carrying too much weight. And yeah, you sink with those teams generally, and that's what we all did. We sank with the Carolina Panthers yesterday. And the Panthers were the team that really cost people more money yesterday than anybody else. Now, a lot of guys were on the New Orleans Saints yesterday in revenge at home against the Falcons, just like Tommy Brunson, who cashed in yet again with another 159 play. And that certainly was a winner. I think another public team that cost people money yesterday, the Dallas Cowboys, because everybody, listen, I went 2-2 with my complimentary plays yesterday here in the NFL. Losing with the Lions, losing with the Cowboys, winning with the Chiefs, winning with the Saints. But the Cowboys, everybody figured, hey, Zeke Elliott's back. They had won 3 straight without him. They were playing a Seattle team that had lost 2 straight games to the Rams and the Jaguars and looked pathetic losing at home to LA. What happens? Dallas, a turnover machine. Jason Garrett, once again, you have to question the play calling. When you're down there in the red zone, why aren't you giving Zeke Elliott the ball? Go figure. But hey, Jason's Jerry Jones' man, at least for right now. He's Jerry Jones's man. You got to wonder, though, what goes, and the Cowboys lose. So those were the two public teams, I think, that cost gamblers and handicappers more money than anybody else yesterday. And it's one of those things. So that really sucked. And of course, yesterday, I told many of you that you could have went to DeMarcosports.com and gotten the free one-day all-access pass. It wasn't a total disaster because, again, Tommy Brunson won, and some of the guys did win. Trace Adams had a 2-0 sweep. There, for example, Trace Adams, a guy who, among all the handicappers, has been in the longest losing streak of all the guys in the site. He goes 2-0 yesterday. And the hottest guy at the site, Chris Jordan, loses for the first time in weeks and for the first time in his 35-year career with a 3,000 star triple year wager release. That's why gambling is cyclical. And that's why, as I've been saying for many, many years, there are no guarantees in gambling. But listen, today is another day. First of all, let me wish you a Merry Christmas if you happen to be celebrating it today. I hope it is a festive holiday celebration for yourself and your family and friends. Enjoy it. If betting on either of tonight's NFL games is going to disrupt your holiday spirit, don't do it. Don't even watch the rest of the video report. Seriously, don't let it affect the outcome of your day. It's not worth it. With that being said, one of the guys that won yesterday happened to be Brad Wilton. He had a 100-dime play with New Orleans yesterday. You know, Brad Wilton is a guy who had joined the site 3.5 years ago. He took a hiatus, left the site. He asked if he could come back. about a month and a half ago. Since he's come back, he's been on a nice little roll. Today he goes for winner number 11 out of 15 over the past 4 weeks, a $100 max wager release, matching yesterday's winner on New Orleans, last Sunday's winner on the Patriots. My God, was that a crazy game last Sunday. 104.73 and 5 roll with 109 plays or higher. It's on Philadelphia, Oakland. You get it for over half price off by using coupon code Brad, his first name. And of course, the big play, Tommy Brunson. 150 dime releases since making his site debut in September. A perfect 7 for 7 after scoring yesterday with the Saints. And of course, last Saturday, scoring with Kansas City over the Chargers. Today, number 8 in a row, Steelers and Texans. You get it for over half price off by using coupon code 150dimer. If you didn't take advantage of that 1-day free all access pass offer yesterday, you can do so today over at DeMarcosports.com. Let me get to your complimentary play. I'm going to take a look at this game between Pittsburgh and Houston. I'm willing to lay the 8 points with Pittsburgh because I can't possibly imagine why I would have any interest in taking the 8 points with the Houston Texans. Although, listen, I have my doubts about the Steelers because that loss to the Patriots last week was just emotionally devastating. I mean, you talk about having a win snapped out of your hands and then giving a second chance and blowing it. I mean, just an amazing loss. How do you rebound mentally, physically, emotionally? Now, you have to. Can they? They should, because the Houston Texans suck. Let's just be honest here, okay? This is a team that when Deshaun Watson was quarterbacking the 6 games that he was in the lineup, they averaged almost 35 points a game. In the 7 games since then with Tom Savage and now TJ Yates at quarterback, they've averaged 14.9 points. And forget about the Houston Texans defense. This is not the Houston Texans defense of years ago. This is a Houston Texans defense that has allowed the most points in the NFL this season, 360 points. The Houston Texans defense that is allowing a league-high 27.1 points a game. They have not held a foe under 21 points since they did so in week number 6 against the Cleveland Browns. This is a Houston Texans defense, pass-wise, that has been scorched. The secondary has allowed 27 touchdown passes. A Houston Texans pass defense has allowed opposing quarterbacks to complete 64.1% of their passes. So Ben Roethlisberger may not have Antonio Brown, but he still has a hell of a lot of weapons there to take advantage of this porous secondary. Now, the pass rush for the Texans isn't what it once was either. So, what is the Houston Texans going to do here today? Well, they're going to try to establish the run. Listen, this Pittsburgh rushing defense is vulnerable. The past 3 games, they have allowed opposing ball carriers to average 5.4 yards per carry. And the Pittsburgh pass rush got good pressure on Tom Brady last week, but overall this season, it's been spotty at best. But you saw how successful Jacksonville was. And last week's 45-7 blowout win against the Texans in Jacksonville had the Jaguars, who granted have a tremendous defense, although it didn't show up yesterday in San Francisco, have a tremendous defense and a great pass rush, how they just beat the hell out of TJ Yates last week. God, I'm trying to remember here. What was it? Let me just look up real quick. Oh, Yates' numbers last week, 12 for 31, 128 yards against the Jaguars. And I think they sacked him 4 times and they hit him 9 more times in this game. So that's going to be the key for the Steelers. The same way they put the pressure right up the middle against Tom Brady, they've got to have containment because Yates has a little bit of mobility, but they've got to bring the rush and put the pressure on Yates. Again, the only way I can endorse a play on this game is to go ahead and lay the points with the Steelers. But the Steelers team, they are not exactly a money-making team here of late in Vegas. Failed last week against the Patriots. Failed against the Ravens. Failed against Cincinnati. Failed against the Green Bay Packers. They have failed to cover 4 straight games in 5 of their last 6. Defensively, gave up 27 points against the Patriots. Gave up 38 points against the Ravens. Gave up 20 points to the Bengals, a game in which they fell down 17-0. Remember, in their last road game, gave up 28 points at home to the Green Bay Packers. They have not really played a good game since that 40-17 blowout of the Tennessee Titans. And what was that, 5 games ago? That was at the midpoint of November. That's really the last good game, and that's really the only blowout game they've had in their last 7 games overall. So you really have to wonder, when you're putting your money on the Pittsburgh Steelers as a big chalk, can they deliver? They didn't deliver as a 6-point favorite against the Ravens. They didn't deliver as the 14-point favorite against the Green Bay Packers, correct? So, again, a free play? Yeah, I endorse the Pittsburgh Steelers. Would I put my money on it? No. That's why my best bet tonight is the game between Philadelphia and Oakland. So Pittsburgh is your complimentary play. That'll do it. I wish you well and enjoy the holiday. And I'll talk to you again tomorrow when we do this one more.